This is the order that we've been waiting to get delivered since June. This is the order, the packages that I've been talking about in the last few videos, the ones that we've been waiting on, like I said in the intro. So today we're going to unbox all of this and see what this is all about and what comes in these boxes that we've been so desperately waiting on to get here. So first box, we have a bunch of hoses. Got a lot of the hoses here. This is probably all of the hoses, to be honest with you. And then you can see where we got the connections for the hoses and the vents that are going to go through into the car. And you can see here there's a warranty registration. Probably taking advantage of that. By probably, I mean definitely. This is a new glove box for the car. It's going to be smaller than the one that comes factory. And that's because when it's in the car, you want space behind it for the air conditioning hoses and everything to go behind the dash as well. So this is what we'll be using in place of the original glove box. It's a steel plate for the firewall. This will cover the hole in the firewall that we won't be using since we are going to be using an air conditioning. This will be covering the hole in the firewall that we won't be using since we are going to be installing this air conditioning kit. This is one of the larger components for the AC kit. I'm not going to take it all the way out. I'm just going to kind of push the plastic off of it. You see you got the motors, wires, a lot of the connection points. The exit vents right here. So this is one of the more important parts, obviously, because without the motors and everything running the air, it's not going to get to the hoses, it's not going to get to the vents, it's not going to get to the people in the car. And here we have a bracket for one of the hoses, a lot of the mounting tools, instructions on what we're supposed to do with it. Got a couple of lines here. Those will go to the other piece, that big piece that I got out of that first box. Here we have a finned cooling coil. Help keep the air nice and cool, because if you don't have cool AC, there's really no point in having AC. Another mounting piece. Here you'll see a lot of those line connectors here and the big line there. And instructions on how to set that up. not going to take it out of all of this right now since we're not doing this, like I said, today. But we'll show you, that is the air compressor right there. With the mounting and belt adjustment diagram. And that's all that's in this last box. And I know unboxing videos like that aren't the most exciting things to see on this kind of channel. You want to see work getting done on the car and see progress being made. But orders do have to be made, parts do have to come in. And when you're trying to build a channel, it is nice for me to have things like this to make videos out of. And for anyone that is interested in a vintage air conditioning kit like this, now you have somewhat of an idea of what you'll find in one and what it's going to look like when you get it. Now these are made to order. Vintage Air sends you a form that you fill out based on the car that you're building or the car that you have that you're going to be adding this to. And they make the kits to order. So depending on the motor that you have, the components in the engine compartment and things like that, your kit may vary from what I have here. But there's an idea of what you might find. So I do hope you liked this video. Hope you enjoyed seeing the different components of an air conditioning kit like this. My car is not factory AC, so we are gonna have to make some adjustments like that firewall mounting plate. We are gonna have to use that because we do have a hole in our firewall that would not be there if the car had AC from the factory. And we are also going to have to cut a vent hole in here. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sad about that because I'm not looking forward to cutting into that beautiful paint job. But for the AC kit, it's got to be done, and the cut will be hidden behind the vents, so it's not like anybody's really going to know that we had to cut into it and then it wasn't already there. Unless you watch this video, then you'll know. So yeah, a little behind the scenes for those of you that watch the video. But before I go, I do want to show you one more thing that I think is pretty exciting. So I'm gonna grab something real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and that was a lot faster for y'all than it was for me. And now I'll show you what I went and got. This is the gauge cluster that we're going to be putting in the dash for the car. So you have the speedometer on this side and the tachometer on this side over here. But if you know Novas, you know this is not a Nova instrument cluster for the dash. This actually came out of a '69 Camaro. And the reason I went with this is because I think it looks a lot better than the Nova ones. We have made an adjustment to it. We cut a hole right there where it used to say Camaro. And the reason we did that is because we have this little piece here that's going to go in. Slides in there like that. And then behind that is going to be the dash clock. So we're using a Camaro console, a Camaro instrument cluster for the dash. It's not really stock, like I've said before, definitely not factory, but I'm really enjoying where this resto mod is going on this Nova. I'm excited to see where it ends up when it's finished, and I hope all of you are too. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something from it about the AC kits, whatever it may be, give a thumbs up to it, leave a comment, and if you want to keep up with where this project's at, and find out what it looks like when it's all said and done, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.